Speaking of Tatum and Brown, during the media day, these guys, it's almost like they have them sort of, with their backs against the wall, defending that they're champions. Like they have to make everyone know that, keep reminding them, hey, we are
Yeah.
champions. Like it's a weird conundrum, man. It's almost like the Olympics fucked up their branding.
Yeah, both of those guys didn't play, right? And
Oh,
I have that on the list too, of both
yeah.
of those guys not having the chance to play in those Olympics. It hurt a lot of their reputations because now, guys, when they talk about the top players, usually who we bring up, like you remember when Kawhi won, we're all like, "Yo, Kawhi is the best player in the world." When Jokic won,
Mm-hmm.
we all said, "Yo, Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world." When um, who else? Nikola Jokic, Giannis won, we said
Giannis,
he was the
yeah.
best player in the world. We don't say the same about
Tatum
Jason
and
Tatum
Brown.
or Jalen Brown.
That's because they are built like the San Antonio Spurs of like 2014. Remember, it was like
Yeah,
Tony Parker, Kawhi, kind of Duncan on the downhill. But either one of those guys could have won MVP. Ginobili. If any one of those guys won MVP, it wouldn't shock anyone. But that exact scenario is the Boston Celtics. It's almost like they're good as a collective. They don't necessarily
yeah.
have like a superstar. Even though looking back, Tim Duncan was a superstar, but he was on the downhill once again in his career. But listen to these guys kind of give a little soundbite. It's almost like they're defending the fact that they're good. Let's hear from
Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
At 26, and I guess as accomplished as I am, I just always feel like overall I can still get better. I'm not at. You haven't seen like the best version of Jason Tatum.
Oh, y'all heard that?
And you should,
That's
right?
scary.
I'm only 26. I should continue to
Scarier.
keep getting better.
So that's Tatum, right? Once again, I keep getting better. I should be better. Like it's almost like there's no he's not holding his nuts, man. Like he's not acting like he's the king of the mountain. He's almost
No.
like it's a weird thing that they're putting these players under, man. But I think the Olympics, once again, it's caused all this. Tatum is not getting any minutes, and Jaylen Brown didn't even get selected. Like the Olympics,
For whatever reason, they run with this underdog narrative, which forces fans not to give a shit.
but these guys are no underdogs. They're way
No,
too
hell no.
experienced. They're way too
You have
experienced.
bro. Jason Tatum since coming into the league has been an underdog. Like, let's keep it real.
Yeah, he's a top recruit. But let's see. Jason Tatum further elaborated on he kept getting question after question about this, and once again, man, the Olympic branding, man, that shit hurt them, man. It hurt their brands for real.
Jason, I'm curious what you learned from your experience at the Olympics this summer.
That's a broad question. You want to be more specific?
Is it something you're going to draw motivation from, I guess?
Want to address I didn't play in 2 of those games. That's what you mean?
That's part of it, yeah.
Motivation. I guess you could say that, and if you want to simplify it. In real time, it was tough. But it's and Joe, I talk to Joe a lot. Joe was probably the happiest person in the world that I didn't win Finals MVP and that I didn't play in 2 of the games in the Olympics. So that was odd, but if you know Joe, it makes sense. Did I need any extra motivation coming into the season? No, I don't. I wouldn't. I'm not going to give anybody in particular credit that they're motivating me to come into the season. It was a unique circumstance. Something I wasn't having experienced before in my playing career. But I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason. I was coming off a championship, the highest of the highs, and cover a 2K, a new contract, and then that happened. And whatever the reason is, I haven't figured out yet, but I am a believer that everything does happen for a reason. But it was a good experience. We won the gold medal. I won my second one. I was around some of the best players that ever played a game on a daily basis and built some friendships and, you know, was able to bring my family out there and enjoy the Olympics as a whole. So that was a plus from it for sure.
Do these guys sound like fucking defending champions?
Mm.
Yo,
But
they
Jason
don't sound like
Tatum's a
defending
Hall of
champions
Famer,
at
man.
all. Huh?
Jason Tatum's like a Hall of Famer right now. Oh, like what the fuck is this?
Yeah, man. This type of, this is not defending champions aura, man. This is crazy. Listen to Jaylen Brown. Even Jaylen Brown, man. Like even Jaylen Brown, the first fucking question he gets asked, man, is about this shit. But it wasn't this bad until after the Olympic situation, with Jaylen Brown calling out Nike, and then Jason Tatum not getting any burn in a couple of games. And remember how we were talking about earlier? Remember how I said LeBron is listed as a forward in the starting lineup, but he plays the point guard position? That exact situation is the reason why the forward position was crowded on the Olympic team, and Jason Tatum, they didn't have enough minutes for him because LeBron technically was taking his slot while playing a point guard role. This shit is like a conundrum on a conundrum. But wait, hold on. But I'm gonna get to what you're about to say. But take a listen to Jaylen Brown, man. As soon as he sits down, the first fucking question.
Hey, Jaylen, right over here. Welcome back. Not getting called on for the Olympic roster there. How did that make you feel? And are you carrying any of those?
Number one.
Sorry. Right off the bat. Not a lot of chances
You
here.
get to warm up a little. Shit.
That's how the season's gonna go, man. So just your emotions overall, your feelings. Are you carrying any of those feelings over into the new season in terms of what is motivating you to win again?
I'm ready to go. I'm excited about being back. You know, the past is the past, but I'm ready to get after it. You know, lead our guys, get the guys, build some team chemistry, not skip any steps, and just set the tone for another year again. I'm extremely motivated for obvious reasons, and I'm ready to get after it.
Even Jaylen Brown is feeling the fucking vibe, man. Like, yo, they're disrespecting us.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you don't think other superstars are taking notes? Like, yo, if I'm going to the Olympics, they better guarantee my minutes like they did for Embiid.
Oh, 100%.
Cause yo, that shit is fucking up. These dudes won the championship. My man won the MVP. And look at the vibe around these guys during media day. That's crazy.
Yeah. It seems like instead of coming in as champions, everyone's wondering like, what the hell happened with the Olympics?
Yeah, or the vibe is like, are you guys even champions?
Yeah.
Are you guys even champions? Like, this shit is
Oh, if it was
crazy.
Jokic, you wouldn't give a shit. The Nuggets,
and that's
the Nuggets, the Bucks, they walked in as champions.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Tatum is sort of feeding into it by saying, "Oh, you haven't seen the best version of Tatum yet." Like, don't say shit like that, man.
Especially when you're in your prime and you're a Hall of Famer. Like Tatum and Brown, or Tatum most importantly, yes, a Hall of Fame resume. What, 5-time All-Star, a couple of All NBAs, and an NBA championship.
Mm-hmm. I knew this was gonna be an issue during the finals. There was a game, I believe after game 1, when KP had a hell of a game, right? I saw like Malika Andrews. She made like a comment like, oh, who's gonna win MVP? I wonder which player is gonna win the MVP. It might be someone that we don't know. Like it's like she said some shit. I was like, yo, this is like they're gonna troll those two about the MVP award. Like they were pinning them.
And also they're trying to put Derek White into the mix too.
Yeah,
like they're not trying to say they're real stars.
Yeah, but Derek White, he could have won MVP. Like he plays well enough that he could have won it. But I saw it right away. They're trying to pin Tatum and Brown like on each other. Like it's like a weird thing. Like no, not even that. They're trying to pin him. They're trying to troll Jason Tatum. The same way they troll Julius Randle with the whole Knicks. They do the same thing with Tatum. Is he a star? Which player is gonna win MVP? Like, they were already talking like that after game 1.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, man, this is great. And the Olympics just made it even worse. Like, I'm pretty sure there's been other great NBA players that didn't get no minutes during 1 or 2 Olympic games. No one ever made a big deal about it. But the fact that it was Jason Tatum, the player that everyone questions, oh, he's not a superstar. Oh, look, he even won Finals MVP. Like, now this is like it might have been a mistake for Tatum to go out there, man. It might have been a mistake. Without guaranteeing his fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Like, if Embiid was fucking around with all these passports, got France mad at him, he's like, oh, no, I'm American. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to play for Team USA because his minutes was guaranteed. Like, you saw this summer, even though Embiid kept starting, the lineup looked clunky, but Embiid kept starting. You wonder why that kept on happening, because they had to guarantee the man's minutes. You know, it's obvious it was negotiated for him to be on that team to deal with Jokic. So the same way he negotiated his minutes, even though AD should have been starting, the same way Tatum should have been doing the same thing. He's an NBA champion. He can't be going to the Olympics with question marks. Nobody knows if he's gonna play.
With DNPs, hell yeah.
Yeah. And then Tatum's team, like, what kind of team he has around him? Like, they should have known, like, yo, LeBron is listed as a forward, but he's playing point guard. So that means, like, he's on the court as a forward, but he's not in that role. So that forward position's already crowded up. You got AD, Bam. There's so many other players. Look, they rejected Tatum. They rejected Jaylen Brown and selected Derek White. It's because that forward position was already crowded.
Yeah.
So these are observation. His PR team, whatever team is around him, they should have made these observations and spoken to Steve Kerr directly or Grant Hill. Like, it's just it seemed like they weren't needed. Him and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they weren't really needed.
No.
Derek White and Drew Holiday was more needed on that team than those two
Yeah, they
guys.
played more minutes.
Yeah, they should have just took enjoy their holidays. Curry and LeBron, they ain't gonna be around after this. And this shit really fucked up their branding, bro.
No, bro, like, we're not, like I said, bro, I remember the year, like, we remember years when people win. Kevin Durant, that whole offseason, we just talked about Kevin Durant, when he won the Finals MVP, or Jokic recently, or Giannis. Like, you remember those post clips, like post-championship clips, where we see Giannis go to Chick-fil-A, Jokic talk about horseback riding, and, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry in that aura. And, you talk about Kawhi Leonard, what it do, baby? We didn't have that for Jaylen Brown.
No. Nope. We
Like,
didn't.
no brand, like, no branding. Like, Jokic was able to turn the Hotels.com into, like, his post-finals, like, horseback riding meme.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Yeah, these guys were just like, hey, we won. And that was it.
Yeah, that was, all right, back to whatever, Back to your everyday schedule program. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, but, I don't blame these guys sometimes, because they are, like, when they came up, the cancel culture was real. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine, like, them while they're going through their high school, they're a high-profile player, high school, college, the cancel culture is real. They're working hard as hell, but someone can easily just cancel them before they even get to the league. So they may have to operate on a different level, and by the time they got into the league, they're so robotic that they don't really know how to operate outside of that.
But you still have charismatic younger players, man. Like, Anthony Edwards is charismatic. Even Kyle Kuzma was able to show his charisma after winning a title.
Yeah, but something about Tatum and Brown, they came into the league at the height of that shit, where it was like, people's careers, no matter what they did, if they said the wrong thing online, they got canceled. You know what I mean? Like, it's a real thing. Like, when I see Tatum and Brown, I'm like, yo, you could tell they don't want to say the wrong shit. Especially Jason Tatum.
Do you think the Kyrie situation also influenced them?
The Kyrie,
like
that Kyrie
the
situation
Celtics
is
Kyrie
crazy.
situation,
Yeah.
where they had a falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
Because they were young when Kyrie had that falling off with the Boston Celtics.
I think a lot of the younger generations that especially grew up on social media as they're coming up through basketball, they're gonna come as robotic as Tatum and Brown. Like that's the thing the league has to observe. Like, give these guys good backing so they can show some charisma like Charles Barkley or Magic Johnson. Like, these guys are very robotic because they don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, these guys, it's not that I don't blame them, man, because it's a highly pressurized situation where everyone's like, hey, don't ruin your chances in the NBA by saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Or going to the wrong party or talking to the wrong girl. Like, these guys, like, it's a different atmosphere than it was before.
100%, bro. I think that's what changed the whole league.
Yeah.
That's what changed like how we discuss basketball in general.
Yeah, like even Magic used to probably went to an orgy and then came back laughing and smiling, and you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys can't do no shit like that. Like,
yeah, phones are everywhere.
Yeah, it's like they can't do no shit like that. These guys are robotic as hell because they don't wanna like get like blasted with media coverage. Like, it's a very interesting thing. Even LaMelo Ball is sort of like that. Like, there's no real personality. It's like, look at my chain, look at my clothes, look at my game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just very. There's nothing that says like, oh, this is like, I don't know how to explain it. The personalities are way different. They're more corporate. Like Rashid used to be talking shit about the refs. You know what I mean? Like, there was so much more personality, but that's what these guys are suffering from. They weren't. You could tell they've been suppressed real early at a young age. They've been suppressed, like, as far as expressing themselves.
All that shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Phones and all that shit kind of take a lot of your personality and experiences away. You kind of have everyone has similar experiences now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even
AAU, all that shit.
Even the way they were celebrating during the finals, it looked like they were celebrating for the cameras. Like, it didn't look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I used to see players celebrating. They used to be blurring out the curses, like beep beep, they were muted. Like, these guys were really expressing themselves, but like, these guys, it's just more like, okay, you know, it's almost like, hey, we're still at work. The cameras are in the locker room. Let's behave for the camera. It's weird. It's a weird robotic thing that's going on, man. With the younger generations coming into the league, there's no personality. That's why Anthony Edwards sticks out so much. They see him joking around, laughing, doing funny faces. The media gravitates to him because it's almost like it's a rarity, man. It's a rarity in his generation to see that much personality.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's like a double-edged sword, man. But these guys are getting that Olympic shit is hurting their brands, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen this after winning the finals, winning finals MVP. Like, dudes' brands are getting. It's almost like, yo, that shit got erased.
That shit went backwards.
Yeah, it's almost like it got erased. Yeah, it's interesting times that we're in, man. This fucking media landscape is very interesting. You saw Woj? Woj actually
he retired.
Yeah, he retired, man. He got sick of that shit.
What did he get sick of?
Huh?
What did he get sick of?
He probably the lifestyle, man. Can you imagine his lifestyle? When does he ever take a break or not on his phone? Like,
that dude's like, what, 60, 50 something?
Yeah, like, how you have a family life? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, you have to break news 24/7.
Yeah, or like, you know, especially for ESPN, you probably gotta be on camera, on call.
They got a smoke shop. They got a smoke. Almost not a smoke shop. What is it? What's the phrase called, man?
Sweatshop.
Sweatshop. They got a sweatshop.
Yep. A sweatshop. Gotta be on camera at a drop of a dime.